about my love. Wasn't it enough? Just let me know.
Coach Mike Leach, man. I know a lot of people miss him, man, and the football community have felt the impact when he did pass away. But next man up mentality after his unfortunate passing. And Zach Arnett, their defensive coordinator, has stepped up to be their head coach for the 2023-2024 season. They decide to even make it that far by their play. But the 2023 season, as of right now, is going to be coached by Zach Arnett. Mal said, I just hope he lands somewhere that covets his skills and develop him as a passer. Greg Roman stumped his growth. That is all facts. I'm not a big fan of Greg Roman. I actually didn't know if he thought he knew what he was doing with a athletic person that played quarterback. I mean, it just is what it is. But Zach Arnett has some really big shoes to fill. I think we all understand that from the standpoint of, he it's hard to step up for somebody that's actually passed away that was a legend to the game. I think that's pretty understood across the table. And I'm actually missing a graphic here. Oh, no, it's not. There we go. So, with all that being said, Zach Arnett was a former defensive coordinator. After I spelled defensive wrong. He actually inherited the 3-3-5 defense that Mike Leach liked to do. And so, he's going to carry that over to his defenses now, which Mississippi State's not known to have like the greatest defenses out there. They're pretty middle of the road. We got some players that are coming out from Mississippi State in this year's draft as well, but nothing world breaking that you would say, oh my gosh, Zach Arnett is the guy. The thing that I have my biggest eyes on this offseason when we talk about the spring games is their spring game in particular. Because I think you're going to start getting a little bit of like exactly what their identity is as a team. Now that what type of offense is he going to implement? We know it's not going to be air raid. We know that Will Rogers is a really good quarterback. And for those that don't know about Will Rogers, go watch his tape. I think he's probably going to go more of like a pro style offense. But how do you get those kids to buy in that have been there, that have adapted to Mike Leach's offense, unless you're going to start sprinkling and incorporate that? Or maybe he might just carry that total air raid offense into their schemes this year. I got to do some more digging and some more reading on this whole thing, but I think at the end of the day, why I wanted to mention this is Zach Arnett has some big, huge shoes to fill, which is either going to get him fired or get him rehired. I think that's unfortunate. That's what his year is going to come down to. I don't really consider this a full hire. I consider this more like an interim coach position, I guess you could say. It's just so unfortunate that this happened. I mean, but so I think one thing to look at too about Mississippi State's whole team is if they're playing, are they playing off of inspiration because of the death? And if they do happen to be really good this year and let's say upset a couple teams and be better than what people think they are, was it because of the inspiration on Mike Leach's death? Which is, this sucks to say, but how do we measure Zach Arnett as a coach after that? Let's say that they had like a 9-win season in the SEC. 9-win season is actually very, very good for them. Let's say they upset a couple teams. How do you evaluate Zach Arnett on the passing of Mike Leach? That's my whole thing, and why I'm so interested in this season in particular for them. I think you really have to give him 2 years, because if he totally bombs his second year, people are just going to say, wow, And what this apparently this is going to be Will Rogers last year, and Will Rogers was really close to Mike Leach as well. So you're going to see some inspired football. You're going to see those. I'm pretty sure they're going to run the pirate helmets again, and Mike Leach, I guess tradition day or adopt that. Maybe around the NCAA. I'm not sure, but definitely they might do it for Mississippi State just from being their coach for so long now. But that's one thing that I'm interested not only seeing in their spring game what exactly they're going to do and what they're going to pull out. I'll be watching that one very, very closely. But the season to start for them and to see exactly what they're going to do off the eve of Mike Leach's death and how good that Zach Arnett is going to be able to inspire those kids to just a winning season. I think them having a 9 or 10 win season would be inspiring anyways. It would be a great story. But for Zach Arnett's sake, he's going to need to come into this next season being really, really good, man. So, shout out to him for taking the bull by the horns and stepping up in a very, very difficult position and stepping up for a legend. That deserves kudos on its own.